Deadpool beckons with 2 fingers, the others curled around the hilt of a knife half the size of Logan's claws, and Logan drags his eyes down to the tented crotch of Deadpool's gimp suit, the erection he's making no effort to conceal, legs spread between the driver and passenger seats like an open invitation. The babbling fucks all but begging for it, splayed there. Logan laughs, and spits a mouthful of blood to the side, heavy and aching between his own legs. It's sick and undeniable, this thing that descends vulture-like over him, hot and metallic as the blood on his teeth. He's never been matched like this. He's never been this pissed off. He's never been this hard before in his life, and if anything comes of it out here in this woodland purgatory, in an alternate universe where he used to be worth something before he died heroically, or whatever, then, well. It's not as if anyone's watching. I'm just getting started, bub, Logan says, mean, and when he dives into the back seat, he sheathes the claws of one fist and takes a rough, appraising handful of what Deadpool's packing, just to get a feel for what he's working with. He's expecting it when Deadpool rears back and tries to buck him off, and anchors himself by burying the claws of his other hand in Deadpool's chest, plunging them under his sternum to puncture his lungs, in hopes that this might hinder Deadpool's ability to speak. Excuse you, no such luck. Deadpool fills Logan's palm, burning and twitching through the gimp suit. His hands fly to Logan's shoulders and hang there, squeezing, not pushing him away. Consent has yet to be established. I'll file a report with Mr. Feige if you keep this up. Shut up. Just shut up, you fucking lunatic. Logan makes as tight a fist as he can manage, putting an ache in his wrist, but Deadpool just rolls his head back, mask puffing out over his mouth as he moans. It strikes the worst kind of chord in Logan, paints his vision an exposed flesh red. I'm gonna rip you apart. I'm gonna tear out the stuffing and smash the voice box, you possessed sex toy. Fuck, yeah, honey, keep the hot talk coming, Deadpool says, rolling his hips up into Logan's hand. Possessed sex toy, that's a good one. So you want to be my exorcist? Father, I've got something naughty in me, need you to stuff your fist up my ass and pull it out. What, your spine? Logan releases Deadpool, but only to flip him, bend him over the shredded seat. That can be arranged. Your tongue, too. Oh, no, you'd miss my tongue. There's a wet scraping sound, Deadpool licking the inside of his mask, moaning dramatically while he does so. It's revolting. Logan's cock twitches. Hands down my best feature. Always has been. Just ask Scoutmaster Kevin. Logan growls, livid beyond words. It's like this clown thinks he's on TV or something, playing it up, cracking jokes for their non-existent audience. Logan sinks his claws between Deadpool's shoulders, and Deadpool arches back, cough laughing, probably spraying blood into his mask. They're at each other again, Deadpool throwing Logan up against the side door. That knife stabbed into the meat of Logan's thigh, and pain blooms there like scalding water, licking flames. It destroys, frying nerve endings and erasing even the blackest lines of thought. Logan closes his eyes for a second, reveling. So, Deadpool says, his tone pleasant despite being breathless, arm bearing down on Logan's throat, pinning him to the door and twisting the knife while Logan groans. Are we seriously doing this? Because frankly, Pee-wee, I don't know if you can handle me. What's your safe word? Logan bares his teeth, chin hooked over Deadpool's arm. Fuck off, I'll fucking kill you. I don't care that you're like me, I'll fucking find a way. A little long-winded, lotta F-bombs, but it's catchy, I'll give you that. Snarling, Logan braces his boot to Deadpool's chest and kicks him away, lurching the car sideways when Deadpool crashes into the opposite side, smashing out that window with his head. Logan rips the knife from his thigh, throws it out the windshield. He has his own. Whoa. Deadpool laughs, sitting up on the floor between the back and driver's seats, and Logan hears his ribs snapping back into place, unfortunately. Where were we? Oh, yeah, Deadpool says. Top or bottom? Personally, I'm cool either way. Love railing, love getting railed. There's this weird misconception that gay guys have their preferred sex position tattooed on their foreheads as a defining part of their personalities, but I don't support. What the fuck? Logan grits out, and lunges at Deadpool, grabbing for his throat, wanting so much to strangle him into silence. Are you even saying? Deadpool lifts his shoulders, slightly garbled but otherwise unaffected by Logan's efforts. I dunno, he says. Answer the question, Peanut, so the boning can commence. Let there be no shame here. What happens in the Honda Odyssey stays in the Honda Odyssey. Ha, stains, get it, instead of stays. Or we can just keep homoerotically penetrating each other with knives. That's fine, too. I would never pressure you into anything, sweetie. Logan throws Deadpool away from him, disgusted even as he gives thought to the logistics of this. It's happening. They're both hard, Deadpool reclining onto the remains of the back seat as if it's a bed sprinkled not with shards of broken glass but rose petals, arms tucked behind his head, watching Logan, and Logan can feel the weight of his eyes even with that mask acting as an inhibitor, the expectation in them, the dare. The obvious, halfway respectable thing would be to take Deadpool by the nape, carve a hole in the gimp suit just big enough for Logan to feed his cock through, and fuck him up, try to inflict some lasting damage. Get on me, Logan says, climbing onto the seat, fumbling his belt. It's not the hurting that does it for him lately, not since everything went to shit, it's the getting hurt, the min-numbing, past smothering adrenaline. For years now his life has been a miserable series of self-inflicted punishments, and this will be the latest in that long line. Whiskey is a balm, but pain is absolution, and humiliation can only make it better. Wow, really? Deadpool crawls clumsily over Logan, panting like a dog thrown a bone. Logan puts his claws through Deadpool's chest, between his ribs, this time to draw him closer. Whoa, kitten, I know you're starving for it, daddy's on his way, Deadpool says, only laughing when Logan scowls and twists his wrist, blood gushing down onto the front of his costume. You're disgusting, Logan hisses. He rakes the claws of his other hand between Deadpool's legs, buries them there, not for the first time. Deadpool yelps and tries to wriggle back, but Logan has him like a worm on a hook. Why aren't you laughing anymore, bub? Not so funny now, is it? It's... Deadpool winces when Logan draws his claws out very slowly, shifting his hips in discomfort. Holy Mother of Marvel Jesus. It's okay, it'll grow back, Deadpool says. Sorry, honey, it's not you, it's nerves. But also, you're a rancid bitch and I bet you taste like maggot cheese with herpes. Logan smiles, and it feels like a gash opening across his face, a bitter, grotesque thing. His stomach roils, he can only imagine it's black and tainted inside, feeding off of this. He likes that Deadpool is wearing the mask, and not just because of the horror show underneath. It could be anyone in that gimp suit, Scott or Hank, even Logan himself, and why not? They're playing a game without rules, without consequences, despite their best efforts, neither of them can die. You know, I was minding my own fucking business, not bothering anyone, Logan says, spitting every word like poison he couldn't bring himself to swallow. He shoves Deadpool onto his back and moves to straddle his lap, bearing down on Deadpool's still bleeding groin until he gasps. I was happy. I was drunk. Then along came an idiot in fetish gear. That was you happy? Deadpool pitches his voice up in surprise. Wow, you sure had me fooled. I thought you were terminally depressed and failing to drown your sorrows. Logan scoffs. Yeah, well, you were wrong. dickless. Only temporarily. Deadpool lifts his hips, jostling Logan. But if you ask me, you seem like you're in desperate need of an F-word, my friend. And no, I'm not telling you to get laid. The F-word I speak of is family. I'm not your friend, bub, Logan growls. Somehow, this feels like the worst insult Deadpool could have launched at his face. Deadpool giggles. I'm not your bub, guy. Now you say, I'm not your guy, friend, and I'll say. Logan punches him, snapping his head back against the seat, his nose crunching once as it breaks and again as it heals. Deadpool laughs, like it doesn't hurt, like it's all one gut-splitting joke, Logan's life. Logan wants to bury him alive 50 feet under, let him flounder and suffocate until he manages to dig himself out, see if he can still manage a smile then. Logan wants him buried inside, now, cock throbbing. Whoa, Deadpool says, and turns his head as if to address a third party in the car, an apparition in the passenger seat. Grab your popcorn, degenerates of all genders. This is about to be the greatest show. Even though, actually, P.T. Barnum was a bit of a prick. He turns back to Logan. No offense, honey bunny. You have the voice of a heavily auto-tuned angel. He's certifiably insane, so much that Logan suspects he's actually an escaped mental patient in his universe. This whole disaster just a tornado-like delusion he's sucked Logan into. What? Did I hit you too hard? Logan asks, sneering. Now you're seeing shit, always. Deadpool surges up suddenly, and then Logan's on his back on the central armrest, skull cracking the dashboard, black spots swarming his vision. Deadpool is on him, pinning his shoulders. I'm all ready for you now, he says. Thanks for the snip snip, by the way. It feels so much better when the nerves are freshly regenerated, like coming for the millionth first time. Logan kicks him hard in the chest, throws him off and through the rear window, yelling where he lands sprawled out on the grass a few yards away. Logan stays down, and beats his head back onto the console while he waits for Deadpool to peel himself up and limp back into the car, wanting more black spots. Just make it hurt, fuckface, Logan says when Deadpool crawls over him again, bile in his throat. He shoves his pants down to his knees, freeing his cock. Can do, baby cakes. Remember, if it gets to be too much, just say. Deadpool clears his throat, and drops his voice in an obnoxious imitation of Logan's. Fuck off, I'll fucking kill you. I don't care that you're like me, I'll fucking find a way, and daddy'll stop. He gasps when Logan slashes his face, shredding one side of the mask, which Logan regrets almost immediately, some of Deadpool's tumor of a face showing through once the blood clots. Woo, someone's in heat. Deadpool grips Logan's thighs, spreads his legs roughly, Logan's cock bobbing over his stomach. You know, I was really expecting you to call top bunk, but now that I've seen little Wolvie. He flicks the head of Logan's cock, and Logan groans. It makes a lot more sense. Fuck you, it's not that small, Logan grumbles, resigned completely to this. Just get on with it, or I'll gut you instead. Time how long it takes for you to regrow all your organs. My record's 2 hours and 23 minutes of agonizing pain, Deadpool says cheerfully, and as Logan is comparing this to his own record, 2 hours and 27 minutes, Deadpool shoves his gimp suit down, freeing his own cock. He wrenches Logan's thighs apart with his hands and unceremoniously rams himself in, burning like a hot knife to the base of Logan's spine. Fuck. Logan writhes against it, this tidal wave of splitting pain, but it's so damn sweet he could cry, fogging up his brain until all the screams are gone, until Jean never held him and Charles never looked at him with disgusted disappointment. They die in him when he hurts himself, and he knows they'll return to haunt him later, same as always, but for now it's like they never lived at all. Ow, ow, ow. You were horrifically tight. God, It's like fucking a bear trap, Deadpool whines, shuddering, hands clamped around Logan's thighs. It's a good thing you're so wet for me, kitten, or else I would have chafed all the skin off. It is wet. Logan feels himself bleeding, hears the blood pouring down from the armrest to splatter the floor. Don't be a pussy. Come on, move, he says, and grins. I wanna feel it. I wanna feel like it won't heal this time. Okie dokes. Because that's not unhealthy at all. Deadpool grips Logan's hips and swings him around, onto the back seat again. When Deadpool lands on top of him, he's thrusting hard, hands braced to the side door, rocking the car as he stabs in and out. Logan screams, and laughs at the way the fog in his skull ignites, as if it were propane all along and Deadpool just lit a match. You know, Deadpool says, panting. I can't help but feel like I'm enabling you in some kind of drunken self-destruction. Sex isn't a replacement for therapy, pumpkin. This dick is neither magical nor healing. However, I've been told I'm a great listener if you want to. Listen to this. Logan stabs him through the ear, watches the tips of his claws jut out the other side of Deadpool's mask, appreciating the squelch of rent flesh and the way Deadpool lolls as he loses consciousness, slumping forward onto Logan, dead for 2 precious, quiet seconds. He straightens up as soon as Logan yanks his claws out, and gets right back to thrusting. Loud and clear, and now it's, ow, my turn to, talk, Deadpool says, yelping as Logan stabs him in the gut for every other word. What you, ouch, said was hurtful, sweetie. Seriously, I, was considering, God, breaking up with you over it, but now bye, pancreas. Think you were really talking about yourself, And it was all just a, chihuahua. Cry for help. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Logan roars. He flips their positions, slams himself down on Deadpool's cock and clamps his hands over Deadpool's mouth, putting all the strength in his arms toward not letting that incessant jaw move. You don't know anything about my life. Except how to fuck it up, clearly. He takes a shaky, broken breath, and he's imagining his own face under Deadpool's mask when he says, you look like a cancer, and you work like one, too. You think you're protecting them, but they were dead the day they were unlucky enough to meet you, when you pulled them into your war zone. Deadpool mumbles against Logan's palms, and Logan presses down harder and harder, until he hears a slick pop that tells him Deadpool's jaw is no longer connected to his skull, Deadpool flinching and thrashing up under him, hands grappling at Logan's wrists. I was doing fine. Logan's voice crumbles a little, and he needs more pain, another hit, but Deadpool's cock isn't doing it for him anymore, his guts healing rapidly, the bleeding stopped. Logan rakes his claws over his own chest, shaking with relief when the shock of it chases away the real hurt. He's distracted, and Deadpool is able to worm out of his grip, throwing Logan over the seat and onto the floor of the trunk. He lands on his back again, gasping. Oh, you so weren't fine, and I'm not the one who fucked your life up, Deadpool says, pinning Logan hard so he can't surge up and impale Deadpool like he wants, gripping his wrists, hips still hammering into him. I'm trying to help you, you surly old asshole. Were you always like this? Is this why you were drinking alone? Because whenever someone tries to say, hey, you wanna be friends, you skewer them with your scissor hands, and they don't regenerate. Yeah, right, you're trying to help me, Logan snarls. He ignores the rest of that, packs it away and burns the box, because he can't hear it. No, they didn't regenerate. Doesn't Deadpool know he knows that? You want me to save your people. These people who are so fucking desperate for companionship, I guess, that they'd put up with your deranged, deformed ass. That's right. Deadpool raises his voice, and there's something different about it, hardened and more severe, like the man underneath the crazy. They put up with me. They don't care that I'm all fucked up. They help me, and listen to me. They forgive me, because they're my family and that's what family does. Logan goes very still, and so does Deadpool, both of them breathing hard into each other's faces. Logan struggles to breathe, suddenly, and it has nothing to do with the pain. Deadpool is still inside him, but he's not moving, just lying on top of Logan like the boulder that dropped out of the sky and squashed him. And you could be a part of that. If you wanted, Deadpool says roughly. That's how the whole found family thing works. I found you. Fuck you. Logan hates the pathetic catch in his voice, wants to claw his own throat, but Deadpool is still pinning his wrists, his claws scraping the floor. Neither of them are hard anymore. Logan feels Deadpool slip out of him. I could have taken Witcher Wolverine. He was handsome as fuck. Or I could have thrown short King Wolverine over my shoulder and carried him around like an angry backpack, Deadpool says. But I didn't, because I saw you, and I knew you were just the kind of pathetic, defensive prick who might need to be dragged kicking and screaming into a family, but who really fucking needs one. Logan shakes his head, swallowing back the tremor in his chest. Don't do this to me. You don't have to come back with me, if you're that dead set on spending forever alone. Deadpool bears down on Logan's wrists, crushing the flesh against the adamantium. Logan exhales sharply. This pain clears his mind, doesn't smear over it. But you will help me. I won't let you walk away, because I might be crazy. I might look like a malignant fucking growth. But I don't fuck around when it comes to my F word. When they need me, I'm right there, because they found me. And they need a Wolverine, even if he's a washed up, unheroic piece of shit like you. An ice shard slides between Logan's ribs, drives hard into his heart. His jaw drops. Anyway, Deadpool says, perking up, voice snapping back into that annoying, clownish bounce. Sorry to poop on the mood, sweetie pie, I just had to level with you for a minute. You want to keep going, or tap out. You know the words. Logan flexes his jaw, gets it working again. Fuck off, he says, slow. If this was a game, he lost. I'll fucking kill you. I don't care that you're like me, I'll fucking find a way. Deadpool is off him in an instant, offering him a hand up. Logan slashes his wrist, severing it with a dull thump and a flash of white bone before the blood fountains. Ouch, so much for aftercare. Deadpool clutches the stump, but he's laughing, maybe because he knows the wound he just dealt Logan cuts much deeper than Logan's claws could ever reach. Baby hand, incoming, Deadpool says. He kicks the severed hand over to Logan, who grimaces. Do you get baby hands, too? Feels great, right, jerking off after? No, Logan says numbly. He sits up, feeling hollow. My bones don't break. Nothing cuts through the adamantium. Neato. I should get me some of that magical comic book metal. Deadpool claps Logan's shoulder and vaults over the mangled back seat, fixing his gimp suit one-handed, spraying the car's interior with fresh blood when he swings the stump around. Logan watches his back, glaring, simmering inside, because how dare that maniac make any kind of sense? How dare he smile and laugh despite his life being abjectly fucked? How dare he be loved, most outrageous of all? Hey, Peanut, Deadpool calls. Do you think this hot mom rod is still drivable? I know the steering wheel's gone, but where there's a will. Logan fastens his belt, hands jerky, and as soon as he's decent he flies at Deadpool, catches him around his throat and smashes his face into the dash. Where the fuck do you think you're going? Logan growls, rage renewed. It's not sickly hot anymore, it's just sickening. Didn't you hear me? I'm gonna find a way to kill you if it takes me all fucking night. That's what she said. Deadpool turns his head, speaking now to the passenger side door. Well, party perverts, here we go again with the gratuitous, blatantly homoerotic violence. I guess you're getting your greatest show after all. No more actual fucking, though, baby girl with a disorder here isn't ready to take our relationship to the next. Logan stabs him through the skull, again and again and again, pistoning his arm, and hopes sincerely that one of these mortal wounds will take.